Hello viewers, this is Of the Cup with Anyafulugo, and hello to everybody watching this. Today our first guest is Professor Ngozi-Ezenwa Ohaeto, lecturer, erudite, academic, and the premise of this interview is about her book, a recent book titled Afamefuna, which is a research work, an in-depth research work that's bordered around collection and retaining of pre-colonial Igbo names. So, Afamefuna is the title of the book, and it is a carefully researched work that's carefully collected a little over 5,000 Igbo names and their meanings and their translations. Full Igbo names, not the amputated forms. So, we go straight to our guest, Prof. Hello.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I want to know how all of this started.
Afamefuna, the Encyclopedia of Igbo Names. The work started some years back, when I started observing that Igbo people don't, first of all, pronounce their names correctly. And because they don't pronounce their names correctly, they don't write it correctly. So, because of that, there are issues with the names. The spelling of the name deviates from the actual Igbo orthography. And because of that, you find out that people don't actually pronounce their names correctly. And because they don't pronounce their names correctly, they don't know the meaning are no longer there. In fact, that was the first thing that triggered my curiosity. Another factor was this program. I don't want to mention the studio, this channel. A program, one presenter usually pronounces his name wrongly. I don't want to mention the name, but from the full name, I got to know that the person, from the first name, I got to know that the person is an Igbo person. But the way he pronounces the surname gets at me, you know. So you see that people try to anglicize their names, probably for to get to whatever class. So these are issues. I also discovered that most people don't call their names fully. They clip the names and clip away the meaning. And in fact, when you ask them, what does this name mean? The person bearing the name doesn't even know what it means. And so, it's a way of the Igbo philosophy, Igbo naming culture. In fact, Igbo names are history. They're historical, they're philosophical. They tell about the person bearing the name, and they tell about the person that gave the name, and the names also tell about the history of the family, the history of the community, even the history of the Igbo larger society. So all these things are lost. So that was why I started researching on Igbo names and documenting them.
Okay. So, Prof, research works are mostly expository. In the course of this academic adventure, what new knowledge were you exposed to, one? And secondly, this research work, what void, what vacuum do you intend it to fill in the Igbo society, present and subsequent?
Well, like I said earlier, the major intention is to find a way of bringing out the meanings of these names, okay, and then providing a resource material for researchers. There are other other issues it will handle. When people will start learning the meanings of their names, how to write them and how to pronounce them. If you get the book, you will see that I have 3 columns. The first column, column A, is for the names proper. The second column is interpretation, translation, direct translation. And then the C column, the third one, is interpretation. Okay, so it will help people to understand. One, if you look at the translation, it will be able to help you to know how to pronounce the name. And then you can now go to the interpretation section. So that's one of the lacuna it will feel. The second one is, you talked of his position. I discovered in the course of this research that female names outnumber that of the females.
Okay.
So I started asking questions, and I discovered that because Igbo culture is a patriarchal culture, structured patriarchy, you now see that people answer their surnames are male names. And so these wonderful female names die with the owners. When the person died, the names, die with them. So I found it very necessary to document this name. But unfortunately, the female names still are fewer in number. That's one of the discoveries. Another discovery is that it was sort of surprising that even male names, the men that bear the name, including the surnames, they don't know their meanings. Women, married women, don't know the meaning of their husbands, the surname of their husbands they bear. So most of them, it was through when I started asking them, prompting them, go and find out. So it was through my prompting that most of them were able to discover the meanings of their husband's surname.
Can you give me 2 examples of such names that?
There are so many of them. If I call the name, I may embarrass the people. Okay? But I may give you some names that are mispronounced, and then their meanings are sort of distorted. For example, I'll give you one common name. Well, I say common because it's somebody in a high political echelon bears it. The person we call Soludo, the name is Soludo. It's not Soludo. The name is Soludo. Soludo, refer the Udo deity. That's what that name means. But people started calling it Soludo, and it has also regenerated into some other name. You see, but the original meaning is Soludo. There's another name. The name Osuachala. It is not Osuachala. It is Osuachala. Osuachala. Osuachala means somebody that cuts Achala. And Achala is a very tough, do I call it tree?
Yeah.
Yes, it's also anybody that cuts the Achala must be a very tough and resilient personality. And so, the person that bears the name must be very good in cutting Achala. And that's where he got the name. And the name over time, became, or not only the personal name, but a surname. But when they write Osuachala. Osuachala is has different meaning from Osuachala. Osuachala is a slave of Achala. So you see the distortion when you don't use the correct orthography. You pronounce it wrongly, and the meaning is gone.
Can you please explain orthography for an armchair listener who is not familiar?
Orthography is a system of writing, any system of writing, any language.
Okay.
Yes.
In this work of art that you gathered together, what were the standout challenges you experienced trying to garner all of the information that you put into that book?
One of the challenges, the standard one, was the getting wider coverage of all Igbo regions. You know, we have many dialects of Igbo, and I needed research assistance to help me, you know, project into other, you know, all Igbo regions. And I thank, I want to use this opportunity to appreciate my PG students and some of my undergraduate students. They were of immense help. You know, they are from different Igbo regions, so I used them to reach out. It was not easy, you know. Some of them are, you know, are no longer around. Some of them found it difficult to help out. But those that we are able to help, I really did a wonderful job. Another one was staying on the phone for a long time, interviewing people. You call somebody and you know, because Igbo names are historical, they will start with history. So you spend a lot of time, not just, I was not bothered about the money involved, but the radiation from the phone. I spent a lot of time, the phone would, you know, get hot. But I had to bear it to get what I needed. So these are issues. And then sitting for a long time writing. My dear, it wasn't easy. Over 2 years.
But you know, that's the life you've chosen for a very long time. Yes. Prof, I would like to know, when will the general public have the privilege of laying their hands on this book?
Very soon.
Is it like a launching or, you know?
Yes, it will be a presentation stroke launching. Okay. And that will be on 7th of October. And in Nandaziki University, precisely in the ASU Secretariat Auditorium.
All right. All right. Thank you very much for bringing out time out of you, smuggling a little bit of time for us.
You're most welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.